Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're doing something pretty cool here today. I realize it's been over a year now since I did a Dragon collection review. So now that we're at the end of 2019, I thought it was time I showed you guys what's up with my Dragon collection, how I'm displaying them in my room right now. I am kind of running out of space here, so I've been selling a lot of stuff, just trying to make room for the new figures. But 2019 has been a really big year for my Dragon collection, especially. I feel like G.I. Joe, I wouldn't say I'm done collecting G.I. Joe. There's definitely a few more that I want, but I've gotten pretty much all of the G.I. Joe figures that I ever thought I'd really get. So I've been really focusing on my Dragon collection. In 2019, I've just gotten a lot of new Dragon figures, so there's a lot to show here. So I'm looking forward to this, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Let's jump right in. All right, guys, well, here we go. Let me open up my closet doors and we will take a look. All right, so here are my figures displayed in my closet. Okay, I've got a lot of my Germans down that way. Got the British kind of here in the middle, and then the US all over to the left. And then I've got all my Russians down here at the moment, and I'll go over all these more in detail. And then I've got a lot more down here. These are kind of the ones that I can't really fit up top. So yeah, it's tough. I'm trying to figure out how to display all these. I have had to sell a good amount just to make room. Some that I could part with. At the moment, I have 74 Dragon figures. I sold maybe close to 30, I think I sold, so I would have about 100, but there's just no way I could fit them all, so I had to sell a bunch. But these are kind of my favorites that I have displayed up top. These are the ones that I really love. And speaking of favorites, someone asked me to do a top 10 Dragon figure video at some point here, and I am thinking about making a video like that soon. The only issue with that is I know there are plenty of other Dragon figures that I really want at the moment that will probably be top 10, so it's like, you know, if I get them, then I'd have to do another top 10. But anyway, that is in the works. But let's go ahead and jump in, and I'll just kind of briefly go over each figure. This will be a test for me to see if I can remember all their names. It's getting a little hard to remember all these figures' names. Yeah, let's go ahead and start on the left side with the US figures. So all the way on the left is Lieutenant Andy Carlson. That is one of my favorites. I've always really loved him. He was my first USMC figure, so a special place in my heart. And behind him, you see Sam Blake. That is another awesome figure. And what's really cool about this figure, a guy reached out to me a while ago and said that he was the same kid who they modeled this figure after. He sent me a picture and everything, and yeah, it's crazy. They modeled this figure after him. He won some sort of contest, and his prize was that they would model a figure after him, and they modeled Sam Blake after him. So really cool. That was a cool story. But moving on is Jack Hanlon, and that's a really cool one. I love his Japanese flag. Behind him is Jake Hansen. Okay, next up is Charles West. This is another favorite of mine. I really love this figure. I love his monkey. That is super awesome. Okay, and behind him is Alan. Really cool sniper figure. I love his camo design. It's kind of hard to reach the guys in the back here, so I'll do my best. All right, so those are the USMC guys that I have on display. Well, except for Sam Blake, he's not USMC. But Those are the ones that I have up top. Moving on, we got Matt Barkley, who is an awesome figure. He was one that I was really trying to get for a long time. I really love him, definitely a favorite. Behind him is Matt Clapton, another favorite of mine. Really love the military police figures, and he's very nice. Then we got Dan Summers. He's up on his stand right now. An awesome figure. You can see the airborne patch on his sleeve there. Behind him is, oh gosh, James Ford. Like I said, guys, this will be a test for me. There's a lot of figures here, a lot of names to remember. But that's James Ford. I hope I remembered that right. That's a great figure, though. Okay, we got Tom Greger. An excellent figure. Apologize for the lighting. It can be a little spotty in here. But there's Tom Greger. Behind him, Steve Hartman. Okay, next up we got Tab, which is one of my top figures. I would argue probably one of my, I would say maybe top 3 figures. I really love Tab. I've always really liked this figure. Something about him is just super awesome. And behind him is Deke D'Amato, another excellent figure. I love the winter gear that he's got. Really a superb figure. All right, so those are the US figures that I have up on display. And next up, let's move on to the Brits. So starting off, we have Geordie Strong, who I picked up back in the summer. This is a rare figure and one of my favorites. He's really awesome. Looks very unique. And behind him is Charles Blackie Black, another great figure. Tons of gear with that one. All right, guys. Next up is Oscar McKinnon, who, I don't know, he might be my favorite figure of all time, but it's hard to say. I've always really loved him, and I picked him up back in the spring finally, and just a great figure. Behind him is Peter Coates, Peter J. Coates, I believe. That's another great figure from Dunkirk. Love the coat that he's got on. Definitely a play on words there. His last name is Coates, and he's wearing a big coat. Kind of funny. Next up is Johnny Vicks, another great SAS figure. And behind him is Kenneth Laird. Hopefully I said that right. Another SAS figure that I recently got. He's really awesome. Okay, then we got Wes Worthy, a British sniper. He's really awesome. Love that sniper rifle. And also the camo scarf that he's got. Really awesome. And behind him is Norman. Oh gosh, Norman Black? Is that it? Can't believe I'm blanking on some of these guys' names. I apologize, but he's a great figure. All right, I'm going to go around on to the other side, so give me a second while I do that. All right, guys, so here I am on the other side of the closet, and let's go ahead and look at some of my favorite German figures. So, by the way, I did remember this guy's name. It's Norman White, not Black. I apologize for that. Anyway, so up front, we have Eugene Brecht, which is an awesome Fallschirmjäger figure. And behind him is Albert Weinholt, another great FJ figure. I've really come to love the FJ figures a lot. They're really cool. Next to him is Marcus Shaper. And behind him is Martin Kleist. Another great one there. Okay, and more recently I picked up Erwin Stangenberg, and this guy is super awesome. He was one that I had a really hard time picking up. He's very, very rare. So it's good to have him. And behind him, another recent is Rolf Seeger, an awesome DAC Pioneer figure. Recently been getting into the DAC figures. He's really awesome. Okay, moving on is Nico Hahn. This guy remains a favorite of mine. I've always really loved him. The detail's great, and something about him's really cool. He definitely looks very evil, though. Something about that head sculpt. Yeah. Anyway, behind him is Hassan Malnar. Very interesting figure. He's actually Croatian, I believe. So that's a great figure there. And then Heinz Schmidt, who I was able to pick up this year. Finally, he's been on my wish list for a long time. Really awesome figure. Definitely a favorite. All right, and behind him is Hugo. Once again, if he has a last name, I am blanking on it right now. But I do know his name is Hugo. Really awesome figure. I love the camo helmet and the bazooka. He's awesome. Okay, next up is Conrad First. Really awesome. I love their coats are really cool. Let me try to get that in better focus for you. But anyway, behind him is Ludwig Mandel. Okay, and then moving on, we got this guy, who I am currently blanking on the name. I apologize, guys. There's a lot of figures here. It'll come back to me in a second, but he's really awesome. I've always really liked this guy. I got him back at the start of 2019, and he remains a favorite of mine. Okay, behind him is Frederick Kohler. Really love this guy's winter gear, especially that helmet, just super detailed with the goggles on top. Looks fantastic. And then next up we got this guy here, Ludwig Bachmann, who I really love. Picked him up a year ago, and he remains a favorite. Something about him I just really, really like. I love his head sculpt, and the officer cap just looks great. And behind him is another favorite. It's Alex Haas. An excellent German sniper figure. I love that camo helmet. That is so awesome. Okay, so that's all the figures up top. Let's get another look at all of them from this angle. All right, now I'm gonna come back around and we're gonna take a look at the Russians. So here we go. All right, so I couldn't fit my Russians up on the top shelf, so I decided to put them down here. They're kind of hidden away, unfortunately, but I've really come to love the Dragon Russian figures. I've been picking up a lot this year, so let's just briefly go over each one. Over here on the right-hand side is one that I picked up recently, and he is super awesome, a Russian naval sniper. And I apologize, a lot of these guys have really tough names to pronounce, so if I'm not looking at it, I believe it's Grigory. I can't remember the last name right now, but he is super awesome. One of my favorites. And then Alexei, who I finally picked up. You guys know that this was one that I have been searching for a very long time. Ever since I started collecting Dragon figures, he's been on my top list. So I finally got him, and yeah, I have to say he is definitely one of my top figures here. Next up is Sergey, I believe is his first name, and he's really awesome. Okay, it's pretty hard to see in the back, so I apologize. You see I got my Russian naval guys in the middle row there. Got, I think it's Fyodor, is how you pronounce it. On the right-hand side, we got Lev. Man, he's really awesome. That was one I've been trying to track down for a long time. Okay, and we got, currently blanking on his name, Dmitry, over there on the left. And in the back, you can see Sasha and Boris and Nikolai. Once again, I apologize. The lighting's pretty bad back there. But there's really no other place to put them at the moment. So those are my Russians. And let's go down to the bottom really briefly. We'll just take a look at the figures that I can't fit up top. All right, guys, so I'll just briefly go over these figures. This video is running pretty long. There's a lot to show here, as I said earlier. So we got Mark over here on the right. Got the Italian paratrooper. Gosh, I'm blanking on his name as well. Paolo Arnesi. We got a Cyber Hobby figure here. Friedrich Dietrich, I believe that's his name. Really awesome. I love his sword. We got a German medic here. His name will come back to me. I apologize. To the left, we got two Kriegsmarines here. Got Victor Orn and Eric Spiegel. Those guys are really awesome. I would like to display them up top. I just don't have room right now. So I'm kind of trying to figure that out at the moment. Okay, on the left, got another DAC figure there. Then we got Horst Salinger in the back. Christoph. I believe his name is Victor. Okay, we got another FJ figure there. Once again, I am blanking on some of these names, guys. I'm a little rusty here. We got Dewey to the right with his machete. Very cool. Lewis, I believe, and Jack Sullivan to the right of him. Bruno Scott. And that dude there who is a Belgian volunteer. He's really awesome. Once again, blanking on the name. Another Italian. Okay, and then some more German figures here on the left. Theodor Wolt. Lothar. And then all the way on the left is Wilhelm Krauss. That's definitely, he's as awesome as that figure is, he is definitely a problem figure. The day I got him, his hands fell off and his gun snapped. It was just really painful. His Y strap disintegrated in my hands. Very, very frustrating, but still, he is really awesome. If you can get him, fixed up, that is. Okay, so those are the ones that I'm trying to find a place for. They're kind of just sitting at the bottom here at the moment. And then just really quickly, I have some new arrivals. So we got Brandon Chase over here, a really awesome figure that I recently picked up. Ben Harris, who I absolutely love. That's definitely going to be a favorite of mine. Really love that figure. Okay, we got a Russian figure here, Vadim. And then Mike Walker, another great USMC figure. Comes with an extra head sculpt. Super duper awesome. And then lastly, these two guys that I recently picked up. So trying to find a place for them at the moment. And yeah, that's all of my Dragon figures right now. You can see the boxes for my Falkland figures too. I have 4 of them at the moment. All right, that is everything to show for my Dragon collection. As you can see, it's really grown from 2018. 2019 has just been a big Dragon year for me. I've picked up a lot of new figures, some ones that I've really been wanting. And the scary thing is that there's still so many more that I want. Dragon just made so many of these World War II figures. It's insane. and I'm still discovering new ones all the time. It's crazy. But I absolutely love these figures, and I definitely want to keep collecting them. There's just so many, and so much love went into making them. Definitely some issues, you know, they can be pretty fragile, and it's a little frustrating at times trying to put them together, especially when you break things. But just really awesome figures. I love them all so much. And it is a shame that at times I had to sell some, but anyway, guys, really hope you enjoyed this review. If you made it to the end of this, then congratulations. This is a pretty long video, but there's a lot to show, and I was pretty excited to show you guys what's been going on. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Stay tuned for my next video, my next review, and till then, I'll see you next time.